I never knew Katagiri Roshi. I know people who practiced with him, but I never met him. So I have no idea what he meant or what he was intended. Was he trying to give us things that would be troubling, that we would chew on for a while, uh, or ultimately, um, that would help us wake up? Probably. What's this new life all about? And then he tells us about our life, my life, being open in all directions. And that makes me think, well, is it not now? Why is my life not open in all directions now? Well, I can think of a bunch of reasons. I really prefer some things. I really avoid some other stuff. I have long lists of likes and dislikes. And I don't like pain. I like to avoid it. My life being open in all directions. I also, this is just being honest about me, I also think that I'd love to think that I don't do this anymore, but that would be nonsense. I'd love to think that I don't come from reactions from my past. But I'm sure I do. I don't have a litany of traumas as a kid, so there's nothing ominous that way. But I think there are other influences that I'm still dragging around that I'm probably not fully conscious of. My life being open in all directions. So what I'm hearing when he says that is boundlessness, no boundaries, no limitations from my past. No restrictions due to my ideas or my beliefs or my fears. Like the Shingyo or the Heart Sutra says, with no hindrance in the mind, therefore no fear. So I think he's talking about boundlessness and fearlessness. What would it be like to not have those things? To not be fearful and to feel boundless? He's describing a life that's guided by compassion and wisdom rather than fear and reaction. The wisdom that, like Jane Hirschfield said a couple weeks ago, everything changes, everything is connected. Living from that knowledge. Seems to me, and this is just me thinking about this, in this life after the terminal station, we don't rely on strategies or goals or guidelines. We talk about the precepts and there's a definite usefulness there that helps us get into and through and with our practice. But ultimately, we let those go too. In this boundlessness. We don't need them. Because that awareness of, like Jane said, everything's connected and everything changes. It's just organic. So we don't rely on strategies, goals, or guidelines to know how to act. We act and we respond, we embrace everything that comes to us, and we offer ourselves in service. I think that's the life he's talking about after the terminal station. So how do we practice this way? How do we get to the terminal station? Are we there now? Nancy Baker said, and we've repeated this a number of times, but she said that when we are doing Zazen, we are adhering to and manifesting the precepts perfectly. When we're doing Zazen, are we at the terminal station? Are we at our final abode? Maybe. In this notion of the train, he uses this metaphor of a train, and of course this train station, if you will. There's kind of an implication of effort or trying to attain something. But I don't think we can practice in this way by grasping after it. I don't think we can try to do this. I think it's more a letting process. Because if we trust what we're told, it's right here. Right now. We probably all believe that, don't we? That this boundless life is right here and right now. But not really, kind of. Because we get up and we go do our lives the normal way. And it's not a sentiment, and it's not a bumper sticker. Fan just went off. Can hear the cars. I'm still hot. It's what's happening right now. Where else and when could it be otherwise if it weren't here? Zen peacemakers, we express this through the three tenets. This practice, not knowing, bearing witness, and taking action. Or you could say stillness, paying attention, and acting from our hearts. It's also depicted in the last of the 10 ox herding pictures. And that last picture is of the fellow happily returning back to the marketplace, back to town. There are a lot of different translations of the poems that go with these. One I pulled up today is called Return to Society. Barefooted and naked of breast, I mingle with the people of the world. My clothes are ragged and dust laden, and I am ever blissful. I use no magic to extend my life. Now before me, the dead trees become alive. It's important, I think, as I consider this, I'm just sharing my perspective on this. I don't know if any of this is true. But it's important for me to remember that this arrival at this terminal station doesn't mean that somehow all my problems in my life are solved and there's no more pain or discomfort. Because that's certainly not the case. That would be something else. I don't know what that would even be. That would be somebody else's life for sure. Wouldn't be mine. It's not magic. That's not what happens. You don't have to look much farther. Having been in this practice for a while, there are dozens of people that I know who have passed away. It's just part of getting older, is you know people who've died. It's got to be part of it. That's not magically eliminated. That's still going to happen. So what's happening right now is it. It's what happens. Things as they are. Just this. My friend Roshi Engu Dobbs, and it's not his expression because it's used all over Zen, but he uses it a lot. Suchness. Suchness. This here is suchness. So as Katagiri Roshi reminds us, when we're united with this moment, we can go north, east, south, or west, up or down, forward or back, in or out. Those are kind of metaphorical, aren't they? But it refers to the boundlessness. And the doorway to the terminal station is through utter and profound stillness. Yoda Sensei says this all the time. Stillness answers every question. That's the big secret. Oops. Stillness. Utter and profound stillness. So, thank you for listening. Where shall we go?